I'm just going to leave this with you because he's talking about something with the radio in the car. So or the truck. So who's ever driving it or whatever, is there something like, is he turning the radio on certain music? Is it on a station that he would have listened to and not the person driving it? Does that make more sense?
So his sister is the one driving the car, but she literally came home earlier today and was like, Cody is totally with me because every station is just playing Florida Georgia.
Okay. Wow. So that happened today.
You and me chasing down forever after.
Hello and welcome to Grieving to Believing. I'm Deb Sheppard. We are not designed to bury our children. And for those that do, it has been the most difficult journey. My mission is to help parents find peace and to help them heal, knowing that their loved ones are okay and that they are still giving them messages. Besides knowing a mother or father has lost a child, I have no idea who I'm going to be reading today. So please join me and let's get started. Hello, I'm Deb Sheppard, and I'm so grateful that you're here to share your journey, your grief, your story a little bit with us. Who am I speaking to today?
My name's Lea Ann.
Lea Ann. Okay, the first thing I want to say is I'm just so sorry for your loss, but also with your courage to be here with us. So the first thing I get is a strong father figure for you or someone in your family as well. And I'm also seeing the animals that has passed as well around you. So I feel like you're definitely a family that likes fur babies too. I feel like with the loss that you guys have gone through a lot, which is really normal with the family, but I feel like you've really made a lot of changes in understanding this. And I know that there brings tears to your eyes too when you're trying to heal all this as well. Did you lose a son? Because that's what I'm getting so far, is that you lost a son. He's also telling me that he's not alone. So I'm assuming maybe he's lost a friend or you've connected with other people who've lost a child, but he says he's not there by himself. But he says that you also have either another child or other children. Does that make sense for you? Okay. Your son feels like an adult, but not still growing up. So to me, that would be, over 18, in his 20s, sort of in that time frame. Does that make sense too? Okay. Full of life, great energy, a person that would look out for others, be there for others, big heart. And also, was he like a mentor to people or did something to help other people as well, like maybe children? Because I feel like even though he's not fully grown, he's still there, guiding or helping or supporting or being a cheerleader for others too.
Yes, he helped us to coach softball, girls softball.
Okay, he's starting to sound familiar. What's your son's first name?
Cody.
Oh my goodness. I know who this is. All right. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're here. So just so you know, Cody has touched my heart over the years. I do know what Cody passed from, so I'm just going to say this for validation that he died from COVID, if I remember correctly, right?
So Cody was hospitalized on March 30th of 2020, right after the COVID pandemic started here in Colorado. And he was immediately put on a ventilator. He left our house by ambulance. And within an hour of arriving at the hospital, Cody was put on a ventilator. And he was kind of up and down. I mean, at one point, they had actually put the settings of the ventilator lower, and he was showing signs of improvement. And he ended up taking a turn for the worse and passed away on April the 8th of 2020. Cody was 21 at the time of passing. In fact, he had just turned 21 about 6 months beforehand. Our entire house was actually sick with COVID. My husband, myself, our daughter at the time, we don't believe had COVID, but she later tested positive for the COVID antibody. So at that point, we were really more concerned about my husband and myself being older and Cody being 21. We thought, he's young, he's healthy. He was a college baseball player and played baseball from the time he was I don't know, 9, 10, 11. So he was a very healthy, athletic kid. So we weren't concerned about him passing from COVID at the time. We were getting, he's young, he's healthy, he's willing to go for it. They never guaranteed it. I mean, they never said absolutely positively. I mean, as we knew, COVID was a fatal disease for a lot of people. But the one thing that the doctors were always clear about was they always felt like they were a step behind. Like they would make some adjustment. They would turn him prone so he was on his stomach. It just seemed like, because it was so early on in the pandemic, they didn't know much about COVID. So they always felt like they were a step behind. He was, at the time of his passing, the youngest to die from COVID in Colorado without any pre-existing condition.
Because he's saying that this was something that no one expected or really was on the radar, that this could be life-threatening for him, even though we know COVID is a very, dangerous virus. He's doing this. In my opinion, that means, Mom, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm strong, things like that. He's also saying that you, for sure, and maybe the other family members, because I know he has a sister. So he's talking about the sister. He's saying that the family does look for signs. They do feel him around, or they try to, keep his memory alive in so many different areas. And he says that you have changed tremendously with his passing. And I don't know if that's having a voice or being an advocate or showing up differently in life, but he says that your strength has been unbelievable. He says that you have a lot of questions for him. He's worried a little bit about Dad. Is there some stuff going on with Dad?
Yeah, a lot of health stuff with Dad.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. He's telling me that Dad needs to pay attention and listen. So I don't know if that means listening to you, listening to doctors, listening to, whatever he needs to do. But I would assume part of his health might be related to, missing his son. That's for sure. When you said Cody, it was like, oh, I know who this is. And just a person that always brought good things to a group, brought good things to a situation. Not a kid that you worried about, never, getting into trouble, never felt like you had to, helicopter, parent over him. And he just knows that, his passing, obviously, if you've, talked to a medium, that has really changed so much in your life about the afterlife and understanding and being in a different place. Have you moved, or has there been other changes since his passing?
I mean, I just lost my mom.
Okay, what's your mom's name?
Shirley.
Shirley, okay, I'm so sorry. Was Shirley sick way before this too?
Yeah.
Because I feel like health was up and down for her.
Absolutely.
Definitely had those struggles. And I feel like, we have a good day and a bad day, just definitely there. I feel in her passing, not completely prepared, even though there's a feeling that she's really struggling. Does that make sense too? Just so you know that Cody and her are there together. She's feeling relieved, if that makes any sense. My sense around her passing is trying to keep up, she didn't want to be a burden, if that also resonates with you. I feel like she thought, with the challenges that she was having, someone always had to step in. She had to always ask for help. And her feeling is, I don't want to have to do that. I don't know if there was extra care or she was in a home or that was sort of the thought, but she just says, I'm fine. I'm good. I kind of just keep getting that. And maybe the work you've done around Cody can give you some peace around Shirley. One thing I know for sure is it's never easy, no matter what their age and the circumstances. I feel like she's very similar to you in the sense of just trying to give to others and be there for others. The sense I get was, did she have COVID too at one time?
She had COVID, but she actually didn't have symptoms.
I think she's bringing this up because of Cody. Like here she was the one higher at risk, but then we have Cody that is this healthy, young, man, and he feels athletic too. When he did this, I feel like this is an athletic individual. So it doesn't make sense when you look at, what they say about, COVID. The other energy I get around Shirley is just tired of taking care of herself. It's almost like I'm tired of getting up, kind of like the same. It's like Groundhog Day. I'm kind of tired of doing the same old thing, and not that that's a reason to cross over, but I feel like your mom just felt like I'm kind of done. I had a good life. I'm done. I fulfilled what my responsibilities are. The only thing I'm getting then from your mom is trust what you're getting. Maybe not listen to everyone else's opinions about things. Would that make sense?
Yeah. We have her condo to sell, so I can see where some of that is coming from.
Okay. It's like, with all of that, there's so much information and advice. And I just make it simple for you. Don't think, well, what would mom do? What should I be doing? And she just goes, make it easy on your life. You have enough on your plate. Don't take on more. So, so if you have a banker, realtor, buyer, something like that, that is just interfering, just listen to your gut feeling as well. Cody is okay, just so you know, he is watching. Is their birthday or anniversary just passed for someone around him or you? Or something to celebrate besides your mom's passing?
My husband and I just celebrated our 29-year wedding anniversary.
I will consider that. Okay. But he says you really didn't celebrate, you just acknowledged it.
Well, no, we went out of town.
Good. Oh, right. That's good. Okay. Maybe he just didn't tag along to be intrusive, right? Do you have questions for your mom or for Cody that could be helpful?
Yes. One of the things with Cody is, do you get anything about his truck?
Okay. Are you wanting? I feel like it's still in possession. Or someone wanting to sell it or trade it or do something with it? He goes, yeah, absolutely. He tells me it's a gas. It takes a lot of gas, or it's a lot of maintenance.
Maintenance.
Okay. So he says, he's laughing. He goes, I'm not in the truck, Mom. Kind of like a humor. So the feeling I get with this is feels like just a lot of work to upkeep. He's actually joking. I'm assuming this is personality. The truck has more maintenance than he was when he was alive. So like taking care of him was much more simplistic because you just like, you're good to go. And he says that this truck has got too much. And he goes, and I think that's like with your mom, like, don't make this heavy on your heart. Don't, stress yourself out. And I also feel like there's little things going on with the truck. He's telling me that's like nickel and dime. Is that what we'd call when I was growing up? Nickel and dime. So you go, okay, well, this is only $200 and this is only $150. And eventually it's too much. And I can tell it's emotional. But he says it's not worth keeping it for that reasons. Has he been gone 4 years? Roma? Three. 3 in April? Okay. I don't know what the 4 is that he's telling me then. I'm just going to assume that I don't think this is his 4th vehicle, but
we've had his truck for about 4 years. We bought it in 2018.
Good job, Lea Ann. Okay, that's what he said. 4 years done. He said was it supposed to get him like through school or get him through a certain situation? Okay, like he says, it got us through what we needed. It's time to go on. And he's laughing, goes, make it somebody else's problem. Yeah, maybe a mechanic or some, kid that wants to fix it up or work on it. But I just get, you don't need the burden. And I think that's what I get with your mom too. Like, don't put these burdens on you of the guilt, maybe we should keep it. It, keeps us, going with the connection with them. And they're going, no. I'm going back to Shirley for a second. Is there carpet or issues with the floor or something with having to upgrade something with the floor?
The condo itself could use some updating, mostly like the bathrooms and the kitchens, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to kind of sell it as is, but it does need some upgrading.
Upgrades. Okay. I think that's the same with the truck. They're both kind of saying these are kind of twin issues. Don't put the energy into them, move them on, let someone else take it and put their love and energy into it.
Okay.
Okay.
you, when we first started, talked about a strong father figure. Today is actually the anniversary of my dad's.
Okay. So that's why also Cody was probably and Shirley talking about it being, something of a celebration too. How do you know how old your dad would have been?
He was born in August of 35.
Okay. A while back.
Yeah. And he passed in February 2nd of 16.
So today, yeah. So, okay, it makes total sense why all the stuff that they're celebrating and acknowledging to back all of these things up about get rid of the house, kind of get rid of the truck. Just, you don't need to keep them. What other questions do you have that's going to be helpful?
The big thing was the truck, because we're kind of in the process right now of looking to get rid of it. So I just, and that's exactly what I was figuring he would say. I don't need it. So you do what you need to do.
Yeah. And since you've had another reading, you probably have changed sort of your ideas about grief and the other side. And I think that is helpful, but getting that validation, the confirmation that Cody is actually saying, you've had it for 4 years, time to move on. It served its purpose. He's also saying what's going on with the radio in the truck or something, because he's talking about something with the radio in the car. So the truck. So who's ever driving it or whatever, is there something like, is he turning the radio on certain music? Is it on a station that he would have listened to and not the person driving it? Does that make more sense?
So his sister is the one driving the car.
Okay.
Right now it's kind of parked, but she literally came home earlier today and was like, Cody, it's totally with me because every station is just playing Florida Georgia.
Okay. Wow. So that happened today. That is magical. That just validates. It lets his sister know, he's in the car. He's, all those things to give you guys validation, which is really, if you think about a young male, that would be your son for sure. Absolutely. Does that give you some peace right there in the heart?
Absolutely.
Lea Ann, I really, really appreciate you having the courage to share your son and your mom with us today, okay? Thank you so much.
The best way to describe Cody is larger than life. He has this big, boisterous personality. Honestly, he tried to not take life too seriously. And he was a jokester, to the point where sometimes I was like, okay, enough, Cody. But he was larger than life, and the kid wore his heart on his sleeve. And he would give the shirt off of his back to somebody that needed it. And just the most kind, and he was a big kid. He was a big kid, but just, gave the best hugs, had the best laugh. And there's very few pictures that I have with him where he's not smiling, just a great smile. The impact of Cody's death on the medical staff was so hard for them. They told us they had doctors that had to take time off because he was young and healthy, and it just shouldn't have happened. The first reading that we had with Deb right after Cody passed, there was so much validation that it was Cody. When he first came on, she actually exhibited symptoms of not being able to breathe and coughing and a lot of the symptoms that you have with COVID. There was no question in our mind that she had reached out to Cody and had gotten in touch with Cody. I still feel like Cody is still coming through. I know that he's with us, but it's just so comforting. It honestly does feel kind of like I'm having a conversation with him. The truck was his baby, so I knew that was he'd have some input, and I didn't actually tell her what was going on with the truck, just hey, what are Cody's feelings about the truck? And she picked up on the fact that we were looking at settling the truck. So again, that was validation right there that he knows what's currently going on in our lives. I definitely feel Cody is always by our side, watching over us, and trying to communicate with us even in his own way, not necessarily through Deb and other mediums, but he has ways. I mean, with changing the radio stations to different, every time a song comes on that he likes, I'm like, okay, I know that was you, Cody.
Thank you for watching Grieving to Believing. I am always grateful that I can be the bridge between two realms to connect a parent with their child. I am never told in advance who I'm going to be reading for, but today was a great gift. Having Cody come through to talk to his mother, Lea Ann, once again was certainly a blessing. In the past, he's giving so many different details and messages. Today was about his grandmother, selling the truck, and connecting with his sister through the car radio. We hope that you subscribe and, of course, share the show with any other parent who has lost a child so they too can find peace. Remember that even though your loved ones are on the other side, they are still by your side. I'm Deb Sheppard. We'll see you next time.